For centuries, the planar travelers known as the Eladrin ruled the island of Zhekesh, mastering magic and metal alike in their quest for power and knowledge. But everything changed when their creations, the Warforged, turned against them. Their catastrophic war reshaped Zhekesh, and at the height of the violence, the Eladrin vanished. Now, a young Eladrin named Thich returns to Zhekesh after a century in exile. She searches for signs of her people and seeks a way to unshackle her homeland from the grip of the Warforged generals who conquered it, the Iron Lords of Zhekesh.
Do you think that it is an operation that could be taken on by a group of people?
I don't like where this conversation is going. We're not going to talk about it anymore.
Well, we'll get to the tavern and get you a drink, and I'll get some food in my system.
Yep.
And maybe we can just talk about what you know about it.
Hey, sure, why not? Yeah, that sounds good. And he's kind of like, oh. Pretty soon you get to this kind of circular kind of dome structure, and there's a little sign, rickety metal sign hanging from the door, kind of swinging in the breeze, and it says the loose screw on it. And Quick Pick goes inside, walks through. There's like it's like almost like a bead curtain made of screws, like separating the door from the outside, and he kind of brushes through the screws hanging from the ceiling. And the loose screw is a pretty large tavern. It's got multiple levels to it. You can see that there's 2 or 3 stories with tables on each story kind of looking down over the common room. The place is packed with scavengers, just people, just dirty, piecemeal sort of gear and armor, and they're all drinking out of these kind of rusty tankards and talking to each other and stuff. And there's humans. You see a few dwarves here and there. There's one hulking Goliath kind of sitting in the corner, just kind of like drinking his grog. And there's constructs in here as well. Several Warforged, and you see one table, some guys emblazoned with Brass Flames emblem, and they're kind of sitting and talking in low voices, and their optics are kind of swiveling around, keeping an eye on the place. Quick Pick goes and sits down at the nearest table, kind of close to the door. You see he puts his back to the wall, kind of like situates himself in a way where no one can kind of sneak up on him, just kind of out of habit, and sort of so he has a clear line to the door and sits at the table.
Is that table near where the Brass Flames guys are?
No, the Brass Flame guys are kind of on the opposite corner.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so they're pretty far away.
So I'll sit down too, and I want my back to be to the
Brass Flame guys.
Brass Flame guys, yeah.
Absolutely. As you sit down, you see there's kind of like these metal railings, like spiraling up, like these kind of, they almost look like Thich wouldn't know this, but they look like monorail tracks.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like suspended from the ceiling and kind of spiraling all the way up the dome, to all 3 levels. And as you sit, you hear something coming down the track. And this construct comes flying into view, like hanging from the track. And you see he's missing his bottom half. He's just a torso, and he's like suspended from the track. And he's got a couple of empty tankards that he's carrying. And Quick Pick says, "Oi, Tops, how's it going?" And this construct, Tops, says, "Fine. What can I get you?" And Quick Pick says, "I'll have the large grog, please. And I think my friend wants some food." And Tops kind of looks down at you.
I say, "Well, what do you have on your menu?"
Today we have Heftabird steak, and I think we got some potatoes back there, crusty bread. I could fix you up a plate.
Just the potatoes and bread will do.
All right, 2 silver.
Some tea?
Tea. Oh, well, I'll see what we got.
Okay, thank you.
That'll be 2 silver and 5 copper there. Quick pick. Quick pick pays up, slides across the table.
Is that for mine too?
Quick pick doesn't pay for you.
Oh, well, how much is mine?
2 silver.
I need to
Gotta keep track of this.
keep my budget here.
Cool.
I have an app on my phone. I need to update it.
Gotta make sure I budget. So Tops goes spinning down the track back to the bar to get your stuff. And Quick Pick kind of leans forward and says, all right, so what did you want to talk about?
Well, I'm interested in gathering some more information about the Iron Lords and what their deal is, what they're doing.
Well, if you're going to talk to anybody about it, I mean, Junker's probably the best guy. He used to work for him, after all. Did he not mention that?
No.
Oh, well.
Well,
I don't think he likes to talk about it.
I have to be honest, I wasn't completely in my best frame of mind when I was talking to Junker.
That's fair. Yeah, you were out for 2 weeks. I understand. Junker really doesn't like talking about that time, so he might not answer questions very readily, but it might be worth asking once you get to know him a little better. I think you worked pretty closely with Brassflame back in the day.
Doing what?
Not exactly sure. I think he designed weapons of some such.
Sorry, SK's just sitting here like...
Getting her little claws in you.
You have a chair right here. You're fine.
Sit on your chair. Most cats don't have a chair. He says, I think he designed weapons of some such, armor, something like that. He was engineer, made stuff. That's why he's so good with tinkering with little bits.
Why doesn't he work there anymore if, Brassflame is still in charge?
I'm not sure, and I don't think he remembers. Junk is not total up here, not complete.
Oh, they messed with his memory?
Well, they did or he did, I'm not sure, and he doesn't remember. At one point, he knew something really important, and he doesn't anymore.
Do you know, it's like a computer for a brain. Can you back it up? Would it be in there still somewhere?
Whatever piece is gone, but I'm not sure where it is. I don't know how it all works. Like, sometimes if I drink a lot, I forget things, and there's no way for me to access that. But, so maybe it's like that, or maybe it's something where, I don't know. I'm not sure how the Warforged brains work. You probably know more than me.
I never had anything to do with constructs.
Right. And at that time, Tops comes flying back, drops a plate of food in front of you and some kind of like bitter-smelling tea, and drops a tankard in front of Quick Pick, and it's like as big as his head, and he picks it up, starts drinking it like a soup bowl and setting it down. He's like, And the plate of food looks decent. It's like, roasted potatoes and some bread. Potatoes look like they have some herbs on them. So, I mean, it's, not super bland, at least.
Yeah.
So, and Tops kind of says, just give me a holler if you need anything else. Goes zipping off down the rail.
I like that. Quick Pick, a lot of the use of constructs that I've seen, I actually am kind of amused by.
Yeah, well, they kind of just made it work, I guess. A lot of the constructs that weren't involved in the war or that weren't with the Iron Lords just kind of ended up being displaced, didn't have anything to do anymore. They weren't servants to the Eladrin anymore. They couldn't serve the Iron Lords, so they just kind of made do with what they had. Kind of like Junker, I guess.
Right.
Not all constructs are bad. Just the ones that are 2 stories tall and have hammers for hands and try to kill you.
Well, do you know if another friendly construct would maybe know about Junker's memory and how it works?
Yeah, maybe. Could be. Depends on who you ask. There is someone here in Vestige that you might be interested in seeing. You're all into You elves, listen, I'm not trying to stereotype, but you elves are, generally into dreams, visions, looking at the stars, seeing signs, things like that, fate, all of that nonsense. Well, there's a woman, she might actually be here, her name's Sybil, and they say that she can see things if she looks into your brain, something like that. I've never had to do it, but that's the word on the street, I suppose. She might be able to help you.
What time of day is it right now?
It's like noonish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, after we're done with our, I guess, respective meals, perhaps you could introduce me to, what's, Sybil?
Sybil, yeah. Yeah, sure, I could. Hey, listen, so I know, you're wanting to start a revolution or whatever, and take down the Iron Lords. But, I gotta work. I gotta make money. So, maybe you could help me out with some jobs here and there, make some money. Need money to live. How much gold do you got on you right now? How many gold pieces?
I have a lot.
How much?
I have 4. And she's like very earnest, like,
4?
I have 4.
4 gold pieces. Well, that'll feed you for a few weeks at least. I'm talking real money.
What I could be persuaded to help you with some jobs, I suppose. That would be better than selling the relics of my people.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Don't listen to Junker. You don't want to sell your stuff. He's a crook. He'll sell anything. Listen, well, there's a job that I've heard about. Rumor, mercenary work, honest work though. Up on Bleak Peak, they say that there's a few scrappers that have been disappearing up there, and they are afraid that there's some sort of monster or something up there. And they put out pretty hefty reward for anyone that can go up there and either kill the thing or save the scrappers. So, what do you say? It's dangerous work, might get us killed. That's what we're best at.
Am I going to need money to talk to Sybil?
I mean, she ain't going to work for free, but she might charge for 5 gold pieces.
Okay, I'll help you with your job first.
Perfect. That's great. That's really great. Yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. I didn't think you were going to say yes. That's perfect. Okay, so yeah, if you help me with the job, we go do the job, we get paid, right? Split it. 50-60, right?
50-60, that doesn't add up.
Oh, it doesn't?
You mean 50-50?
No, I know what I said. I should get a little bit more. You can get the same amount, but I get a little bit more for finding a job.
60-40 is fine.
60-40. Yeah, that's even better. That means you get even less. All right, good. Yeah, 60-40. That sounds good to me. Let me just finish. And he keeps downing it. A few scrappers kind of sidle up to the table at this point and are like, "Hey, Quick Pick, who's your friend?" And Quick Pick's like, she's just, she's new in town. She's looking to get into the scrapping trade.
What it would be like just a really common human name that would come to my mind?
You could say that your name is like,
SK has a suggestion.
You remember when you were living in TN, one of the human traders that used to come into town quite a bit, her name was Begrin.
Begrin?
Yeah, Begran.
So I, as nonchalantly as possible, will like turn and say, "My name is Begrin, and are you friends of Pick Quick? Quick Pick?"
His name is Pick Pick.
Quick.
Go ahead and give me a deception roll if you would, please.
Oh crap! SK, go get my dice.
Where is that?
It's way over there. I have another one.
Jeez.
All right, deception. Oh, it ain't good. 5.
5. They're kind of looking at you oddly as you look at them.
So I'm like, hello, my name is Begrin. Are you friends of Pickwick?
They say...
What am I doing with my hands?
You start acting like a construct. They kind of give you an odd look and say... they say, we heard you were going up to Bleak Peak. Going after the monster of Bleak Peak. Is that right? Quick Pick kind of says, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're going up there. Yeah, we're gonna go up there and we're gonna get the money. So just, don't worry about doing it anymore. Don't worry about the job. We're gonna do it. I'm like, well, we could help you. We could go up with you. We could split it evenly. If we go up there with you, what do you say? Quick Pick's like, no, I don't think so. I don't think that's a good idea.
We need to try and keep as low of a profile as possible.
We keep a low profile.
The more people, the more chances of running into trouble.
Right. Well, when you get up in trouble up there, just remember, we offered to help. They kind of like bump the table as they move off, and Quick Pick's like, that jerks.
They seem like unsavory fellows.
There's a lot of unsavory folk here. Yeah, sure. Well, we should probably head out as soon as possible. If they're after the job too, they might try and beat us up there.
All right, let's go.
All right, you got everything?
Got my hammer. Got my cell phone. Got my house keys.
Glasses, wallet.
No, I think I'm ready to go.
All right. Well, let's go then. We could see if Junker wanted to go with us. Or, actually, you know what? We should go into the iron market, see if there's any gear we should get before we go up there. You have any climbing gear or anything like that?
I mean, I have a rope.
We might need a little bit more than that. Let's go to the iron market. Let's hit up the iron. Let's go grab Junker and hit up the iron market. So, Quick Pick, drains his grog. You're feeling quite a bit better after eating and having the water in Junker's hut. You're feeling more like...
Oh my gosh.
You're feeling more alert than you were, for sure. SK really wants that pencil.
You're being a little pest today, but I love you. You're so sweet. Cats.
So Quick Pick gets up, leaves a little tip on the table, and heads out, leaving the loose screw behind you. And you guys head back to Junker's hut, and Junker's at his workbench, kind of working on the cube again. And Quick Pick says, hey, Junker, you feel like coming up to Bleak Peak with us? Junker's like, why would you be going up to Bleak Peak? Well, there's a job up there, and we were thinking we could make some money and show Thich around, get her out, get the blood pumping again. And Junker says, in fact, I have been meaning to go up there and do some scavenging. If you'll have me, I'll go.
Quick Pick, this is your kind of job. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we should take him with us.
Okay, let's take him with then.
Plus, then he can't sell your stuff while we're gone if we take him with you.
I really don't think he's going to sell my stuff.
You've known him for like half an
I like to trust people.
hour. So Junker kind of packs up his stuff and he's like, all right, I will go with you. And I'll give you his NPC card.
Okay.
So this is Junker.
Oh, look, he has a sweet face.
SK wants to see.
What do you think? Oh, she gives it one face rub.
One face rub. So Junker he has a little bit of magical ability on the back. He's got a couple cantrips he can do.
Okay, SK, you're killing me with the claws, though.
On the back.
I was reading the front.
Oh, you were reading the front. I'm sorry.
Don't rush me.
I'm sorry.
Okay, cool.
So you can do a couple cantrips. He has a steel skin ability where he gets advantage on the first saving throw of every combat. He's got a mace, and he also has a pretty cool little, I think it's called Scrapper Satchel.
Yeah. So it has... Oh, okay, I see. So you reach in and then roll a dice to see what you get.
Yeah, see what you get.
Very cool. I like that.
And he can do that twice a day.
Okay, cool. Great.
So he might find nothing, or he might come out with an alchemist flask or acid flask or something like that. So
Okay, cool.
yeah,
Great.
so that's Junker. So, and for NPCs,
I'm sorry.
because you might,
it's not your DMing.
I know, because you might get more people.
Okay. Yeah.
You can have 2 people with you at any time.
Okay.
So,
cool.
and that's just to keep it simple for both of us.
Right,
So you're
yeah.
not having to keep track of 5 people
Like
or whatever.
10
Yeah,
NPCs.
exactly. So you've just got you can have 2 people and then you. They will level up with you,
Okay.
and they don't get normal stuff when they level up. Basically, every time your proficiency bonus goes up, theirs goes up.
Okay.
And every time you get to increase one of your ability modifiers, so that's every 4th level, they get to do that too.
Okay.
So they get a little bit better when you level
Cool.
up.
Great.
Cool. So with your 2 new friends in tow, you guys head out into the streets of Vestige and start heading towards Bleak Peak, which you can actually see on the horizon. This big mountain, dormant volcano, kind of in the distance. Its top kind of disappearing into the clouds above. Very kind of foggy and sort of hazy in the clouds. As you're leaving Vestige, you're cutting through an alley, and a group of figures kind of moves into the alley in front of you. And you see the one in the lead is the scrapper that was giving you a hard time in the loose screw. And he says, "If you're not going to take us with you on the job, then we're going to make sure you can't do it. And we're going to do it ourselves."
How much is this job paying?
And Quick Pick says, 500 gold. And at the same time, the guy says, 750 gold. Quick Pick says, yeah, 750 is what I said.
I am just shaking my head and say 750 gold is not worth this unnecessary violence.
I think otherwise.
What a sad, lonely life you must lead.
He says, no. And he gets out a weapon, starts coming forward towards you. And I'll have you roll for initiative.
Okay.
And I'll draw a little mappy map.
A mappy map.
Oh, jeez.
21 for my initiative.
Okay, and go ahead and roll for Quick Pick and Junker as well.
Okay. There it is. 19 for Quick Pick.
Okay.
And 17
Dang.
for Junka.
Okay, I'll roll for bad guys. Okay, so initiative is going to go you, Quick Pick, Junker, and these guys.
And the bad guys?
Yep,
Okay.
and you see that there's 3 in front of you and 2 step behind you, cutting you off in the alley.
Okay.
And there's some kind of barrels and crates in the alley here as well.
Okay. Let's see. So I go first.
You do. And the lead one is coming towards you. They're all carrying clubs and maces that are just like wood and iron, just like scrapped together kind of weapons.
Okay.
They don't look like nice weapons at all.
And they're just like big humans?
Just big humans,
Okay.
big burly humans.
Okay. All right, so I'm actually going to hold my action until somebody is attacking me.
So you're gonna, when someone attacks you, you're gonna attack them.
Yeah.
Is what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Or like if their attack is imminent. Does that make sense?
Yeah. As soon as someone moves into engaging range with you, you're gonna attack them.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you want to? So you're holding your action. Do you want to move or do anything else?
Nope.
Okay. What about quick pick?
Quick Pick is going to use his bow and arrow.
Okay.
To shoot at one of them.
Okay.
He's a brash little guy.
He is.
Okay, so that's on the back.
Yeah, their actions are on the back.
So 14
Hits.
and 4 damage.
4 damage?
Yeah.
That's just enough to drop him.
Alright, so he's
firing
firing at one of these back guys
Cool.
here.
So the arrow just slams into this guy, and he just drops, screaming in pain,
Raise up Quick Pick.
completely out of
Oh,
the
do you want
fight.
the jewel back?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thanks. Awesome. All right, what about Junker?
Junker is also going to wait until someone is attacking him.
Okay, cool. All right, so the two at the end of the alleyway come charging towards you, one towards Quick Pick, one towards you.
Like how close do you want him?
Just right up next to you. They move into engaging range.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and take your action.
Okay, so I'm going to just do an unarmed strike.
Okay.
I just want to like punch him in a tender spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not the tender spot.
Not the tenders, but in a tender spot. Yeah.
But just like in the gut, probably.
Yeah.
So 15.
Yep.
And 3.
3. Okay.
So far, I've rolled 2 ones for damage.
That's all right. I mean, you still dropped one of them.
Yeah.
So you punch this guy. Do you punch him, kick him? What do you do?
Like he walks up as he's running towards me. I just like kind of lower down, and when he walks up, I just go just right in his stomach. Yep.
Now, do you get to do another thingy?
So I'll punch him twice.
Yeah, because you get your bonus unarmed strike.
Me. It's that my asthma.
Yep.
Kicking up again. So 25 to hit.
Yeah. You need 10
No. I'm sorry. 23 to hit.
You're looking for 10 to hit.
Yeah.
These guys aren't wearing armor.
And 5 damage.
He goes down. He goes down like completely unconscious before he even hits the ground.
Is he dead?
No.
But
You're doing unarmed strikes, right? Yeah. No.
So I just like hella knocked the wind
you're
out
a monk.
of him.
You're a monk. But if you want to be doing non-lethal
No, I'm
damage,
doing non-lethal damage.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I
crippling
assumed.
this guy. Yeah.
Yep. So the one in front of Quick Pick is going to swing with his club here. And he hits Quick Pick for 2 bludgeoning damage. Do you mind keeping track of that on the... You can do it on the whiteboard if you want.
Oh, that's right. So here's
old Quick Pick.
Quick Pick and Junker. So how many damage?
2.
And what's his HP total?
I think it's 12. Or Junkers?
No.
Oh.
12. Okay. And then Junker is... Sorry, just while I'm thinking
No, that's all good.
17.
Cool.
Okay, great.
And then the 2 in the back there, both of them are going to come rushing towards Junker.
Okay.
And they're both going to swing at him with their clubs.
He held his action until they were in
So
range.
go ahead and go.
Okay. So he's just going to swipe at this one with his mace.
Yep. His scrapper sledge.
Yes. Ooh. Crit miss.
So he whiffs it.
Yeah.
His club like gets stuck in his cloak as he tries to bring it up.
Oh, Junker.
Luckily, both of them also miss.
Okay, great.
All right, it's back to you.
I am going to turn around and try to kick this guy's legs.
Okay.
So 16 and 3 damage.
Okay.
And then for my bonus action, I swipe him again. So I do like a fancy, like, where I'm like holding, my hands are on the ground and go.
You do like a what's it called? Pommel horse?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yep. And I hella hit with a 21 and 5 damage.
Yeah, so you sweep this guy off his feet, his head hits the ground, he's completely out cold. Okay. And you already used your bonus action.
Yep.
Quick pick.
He is going to fire at this guy too.
Okay.
I should have these both flipped over for right now.
You can also, if it's easier, you can take it out and have both the front and the back facing.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Okay.
I just, I'll get into a groove with it.
Yeah, totally.
Pardon me. So 11 to hit.
Yep.
And 8 damage.
Okay. Another one goes down.
And he is shooting to kill.
Yeah, quick pick is not a merciful goblin, that's for sure. He might be a nice goblin, but he's still a goblin.
Yeah.
Okay. That was quick pick. Does he want to move? Or remember, quick pick can use his bonus action to hide or disengage if he wants to.
Oh,
so if
that's true.
If you wanted to have him move and like hide behind those crates, he could. He's got some roguey abilities.
You know, I feel like these guys have a history of picking on quick pick.
Yeah.
And he sees this as an SK. He sees this as an opportunity to like take a stand. Mm-hmm. So he's gonna just turn around.
Just turn around and just stare this guy down.
Like take aim at these other two.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So that was quick pick, so Junker.
Junker is gonna swipe at the one directly in front of him with his mace.
Okay.
SK, I don't need help rolling, sweet girl. Thank you. Oh gosh, I keep rolling right in the crack. So only 9 to hit.
Doesn't hit.
Man, Junker.
Come on, man. All right. The last remaining guy is gonna disengage and run away.
Okay.
So he's just out of there. And that leaves 2 of them dead, 2 of them out cold on the ground. You see Quick Pick, like, starts to unsheath his short sword, move towards the guy out cold on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, I turn to Quick Pick and say, I'll put my hand on him, like, to stop him from getting his sword all the way out.
Yep.
And say, you should not have killed those men.
Why not? They would have killed us.
Well, I stopped 2 of them from killing us without killing them.
Yeah, and they're going to wake up, and then they're going to come after us again. It's kill or be killed in Zhekesh now, Thich. You can't be soft. You can't show mercy. And Junker is kind of like, I think it is admirable. And he kind of nods towards you.
Say, thank you, Junker.
Oh, whatever.
Quick Pick, I won't stop you from doing what you feel you need to do, but killing will always be the very last resort for me.
He kind of...
And I'm just walking away. I was like, let's keep going.
And Quick Pick kind of like looks at the body, like slams his short sword back into the scabbard, and like kicks the guy in the gut.
And I turn around and say, clearly these 2 are not a match for us. They don't pose us a threat. Don't worry about them.
And Junker kind of looks down at Quick Pick and just kind of goes, just shaking his head. And the 2 of them run to catch up with you.
Quick Pick, you need to check yourself.
If this was an RPG, if this was an RPG, like a video game,
Yeah.
it would say Quick Pick disapproves and Junker approves, and you would gain some traction with Junker and lose some with Quick Pick.
Yeah.
So
SK.
She's
She's
so
like,
ridiculous.
I want to play.
I want to play D&D.
Where's my card?
Give me a character. Put me in, coach.
All right, continuing on.
So you guys are heading to the Iron Market first before you leave. So you go to the Iron Market, and it's basically just a big, long, kind of muddy road beset on all sides with like carts and little booths and stuff with like canopies over them, and just people just yelling back and forth, saying how good their wares are, how rare their stuff is, and you see that there's all kinds of things. There's weapons, there's armor, there's adventuring gear, there's potions, there's weird bits and baubles, there's stuff that's like really old, stuff that's brand new. You see some Eladrin stuff here and there, some Warforged stuff, empty Warforged skulls sitting on countertops and stuff like that. Just all sorts of weird things, and there's Heftibirds kind of walking back and forth, loaded up with stuff to sell and buy and all of that. So it's almost overwhelming. It's like you've been in this quiet sort of hermitage exile for so long, and now you're like in the middle of this bazaar, basically, with people just yelling and strange smells and all sorts of weird kind of sights and stuff, and it's almost overwhelming. But Quick Pick leads you through the market, Junker following behind him, and he comes to a small cart loaded up with like ropes and pitons and other like adventuring gear, and he's kind of rifling through stuff, and you catch your eye kind of catches on a small it's like a small like wooden block, kind of a rectangle wooden block that has kind of weird design, and it looks like it like comes apart, like it opens up almost.
I'll go take a look at it.
You pick it up, and you see that there's like a small metal latch on one side. It looks like you can push it.
Is there the shopkeeper nearby?
Yep, she's sitting there. She's a dwarven woman.
I say, excuse me, can you tell me about this? It just caught my eye.
She says, that's a grapple bow.
I haven't heard of that before. Can you describe it?
She says, go ahead and thumb the latch.
So I will like point it down towards the ground because I'm like a little afraid of accidentally shooting someone.
Yeah.
And I'll push the latch.
So when you push the latch, it like flings open like an umbrella, and like a little like handle like swivels out of the bottom, and two crossbow arms like open up on the side, and you see on the end of it there's like a grappling hook.
Oh, cool.
So it like will fire a grapple hook with a rope.
Yeah, that's cool. I said, this is impressive. I've never seen anything like it. How much are you selling it for?
She says, that's necessary in any scrapper's arsenal, I assure you. To reach those hard-to-reach places, you need a grapple bow. I'm selling them today for 6 gold.
6 gold. Well, maybe after my first adventure, I'll be able to come back and get one.
And Junker's like, how much gold do you have?
I have 4.
I will front you 2 gold if you pay me back 3.
Really, Junker? You would do that?
Yes, it's profit for me.
I like how straightforward you are, Junker.
He kind of hands you 2 gold.
Great. I think that this will really help us with climbing a mountain.
Yes, I think so. This is also why I'm giving it to you.
Great. So I buy it.
Cool. You got it. So it's called a grapple bow. Can't really be used as a weapon, but it's essentially, it acts as a grappling hook that you don't have to throw. It has the range of a hand crossbow, so you can shoot it up really high. And it's not like a Batman grapple gun where it's gonna like pull you up,
right?
But it just
It'll
gets
get the
a
rope there.
It gets a rope up really high. Yeah.
Cool. Great. I asked the dwarf before I leave. Is there any trick I need to know about reloading this?
She says that once you use the grappling hook, you just kind of spool it back up and stick it back in. So it takes a little while to reload, but
great.
Yeah.
That seems simple enough.
Yep.
Okay, so now I'm looking for. I kind of want to go and look at one of those birds.
The hefty birds?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm also keeping my eye open for anyone selling, like plants or herbs. I want to maybe utilize my herbalism kit if I can. But I also know I'll have a lot of opportunity to maybe look for stuff on the road.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're looking for herbs, and you're also looking for, what was the other thing that you said? I'm sorry.
The bird.
The bird, the hefty bird.
Yeah.
So the hefty bird stables are nearby, and the person selling them, if you ask them, how much are hefty birds, he says they go for 50 gold.
Okay.
And they have a deal going right now where if you buy a hefty bird, they'll throw in saddle with saddlebags for 60. So you pay 60 gold, you get a hefty bird with a saddle and saddlebags.
I'm gonna buy a bird.
You're gonna buy a hefty bird?
Yeah. I mean, not right now.
Yeah. That's exactly why I put ostriches in the game. That, by the way, was a Barker idea.
Oh, thank you, Barker.
I asked some of the guys what would be a cool mount to have in Zhekesh, and Barker was like ostriches, and I was like, yep. Duh.
Yay! Oh, that's wonderful.
And they're like, they're not, they're just like big, ridiculous birds.
Oh,
just
yeah.
flightless bipedal land
No, I know.
birds.
Teak wants a little companion.
Yeah, absolutely. And you gotta feed it. You gotta take care of it.
Oh, I know.
But if you're gonna have a bird, you gotta take it out for walks, and you gotta make sure it has food and water, and you gotta clean its cage. Okay?
And not just when you feel like it.
Yeah.
You have to do it every day.
You gotta do it every day. Yep, exactly. So yeah, the hefty birds are 60, and there's a few people that are selling different herbs and like poultices and stuff like that. So if you wanted to like replenish your herbalism kit, you could.
Okay.
It would just cost you a little bit of money.
Okay, how much? Where would say like 4 silver get me?
How many uses did you use on your herbalism kit?
I'm gonna have 20 uses left.
Oh, 20
so maybe I don't
uses
even need anything.
I don't think you really.
I
need
don't
anything.
know. I just
if you wanted to get
shop
the
till you
specific
drop.
If you wanted to get the specific ingredients for like a potion of healing, those ingredients would be about 25 gold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but an actual potion of healing, if you just buy one, is 50 gold. So basically, you can buy the ingredients and make it yourself for half the cost of just buying it.
And that's good to know for future reference.
For future reference, exactly. And if you finish this job, you'll come into a little bit of money. So.
Exactly. I was just curious.
Absolutely.
I have a feeling this might become kind of a home base.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get to know it.
Could be so. Yeah. No, that's smart. Absolutely. And you're definitely getting a lay of the land. You kind of, it's not a well organized city, if that makes sense. Like it's like weird like streets coming in from out of nowhere and alleyways here and there, and some places are up high, some places are down low, but the market does seem to be like central hub, like right through the middle of the city of Vestige.
Okay.
So, SK not on the table.
Oh.
Pause off the table.
Thank you. And at some point I would have asked, like, where are we in relationship to Tien?
And Junker would have said, Tien is about 2 days to the northwest, and the next closest settlement is Erd, and that is a few days to the southwest. And there's also the Scar. There's a big canyon where Lord Brassflame lives, and that is a few days to the northeast.
Does Junker have, or would I be able to find like a contemporary map of Zhekesh?
He says,
because I know I'm really familiar with, I mean, just the geography in general.
Right.
But Jesus, I have a feeling that settlements and everything are completely different from 100 years ago.
Yeah. Let me grab the map.
Oh.
Okay. So this is a basic lay of the land here.
Okay.
And it's not complete, obviously, but it shows you where the major settlements are.
Okay, yeah. So, like, Junker could probably sketch this out for me.
Yeah, he can basically describe, like, where everything is kind of located right now in Zhekesh, and you, with your knowledge of geography of the place, can figure it out. Easy enough.
Yeah, I see. Great. When you edit this, can you edit, like, this into the picture while we...
Yeah.
For a second?
Yep. I absolutely can.
Cool. Okay, great, yeah. So we're heading to... Where are we going?
So you're heading to Bleak Peak, which is down in the south there in that mountain range. Do you see that?
Oh, down here?
No. See where you are? Vestige? Yeah. You're going to Bleak Peak. These are mountains right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I went, like, way south.
You went way south. We're going to the other end of the continent.
I was like, Jesus.
It's going to take you 3
For
weeks to get down here.
750 gold?
Yeah.
Okay, so just, like, right in here.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
So are we going to go through this forest?
You can, yeah.
Quick pick, which way are we going? What's the fastest way?
I was going to follow the river.
So just go around the lake here and follow the river?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Most direct route. Why?
I was just curious. Yeah, let's do that.
Sounds good to me. And he's stocking up on some rope and some pitons and stuff to help with climbing.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys set out. It's a little bit past midday at this point. Junker and Quick Pick both say...
Oh, Quick Pick got hit in that fight.
He did, yeah. So...
I can, like, help him put a bandage on.
If you guys want to take a short rest before you go, he'll get that back.
Okay.
Yeah. And that basically just is him bandaging himself up and just taking a moment to take care of his injuries.
Great.
That's good. So you guys set out for Bleak Peak, down towards the south there. It's a pretty long trek, but Quick Pick says that if you go quick pick, but you have a pretty good base land speed there, so you can keep up no problem, that you can get there by morning of the next day.
Okay.
So you head out and you see Junker's kind of walking along, his old servos whirring as he's trying to keep up, and Quick Pick kind of leads the way. The geography is familiar to you, but it's also very changed. 100 years is a long time, and also the land itself has been reshaped and reformed from the catastrophic war that pitted the Eladrin against the Warforged.
Right.
But you see landmarks that you recognize from your travels across Zhekesh. You see, the forest off to your right. You see the mountains to the south. And the air, as you move away from the city of Vestige, the air smells very familiar to you. And you start feeling like, for the first time since you've come back to Zhekesh, you feel like you're in Zhekesh. It feels very familiar. It feels like home. And even though you found Tien a very hollow and lifeless place. It's not the case in the rest of Zhekesh. There's lots of birds, lots of wildlife here and there, and it's a very green, very beautiful place, despite the war that has happened here.
Great. As we're walking, Thich just stays like pretty quiet and is just sort of like enjoying the...
Kind of taking it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And Quick Pick is kind of keeping to himself, kind of a little bit ahead of the group. And Junker is kind of like, is it strange to come back to see it so different?
It's like a strange dream almost. Where everything it's so similar but all completely different.
I can imagine that would be very off-putting.
This is good though, this trek that we're taking reminds me that there's still a lot of life in Zhekesh.
Why did you come back?
I felt like I needed to see with my own two eyes what was really happening here, or what had really happened. And if it is true that I'm the last Eladrin on, would I know what to call the planet that we're on?
Not necessarily. Mostly because I haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think, like, would Thich be aware of the Eladrin coming from a different... Because they're from, like, a different...
They're from a different dimension. I mean, you could be the last Eladrin in this dimension.
Okay, yeah. So, if I am the last Eladrin alive in this dimension, I feel strongly that it's my duty to preserve our culture.
I can respect that.
There's a lot that can be learned by all of this.
There are lessons to be learned on both sides, yes. Lots of regrets from everyone involved. In any case, it is good that you came back, but I'm sorry that you have found it so changed.
Well, there's nothing that I can do to change the past. All I can do is try to ensure a better future.
And he kind of nods, kind of thinking, and he goes, "Oh, your cube." And he reaches in and pulls it out, and he's like, "I'm not certain, but I think it is a vessel for storing something. SK, you're not supposed to be on the table. Get down.
Come here. You're being a bad kitty." She just is like, be on the couch.
Be on the couch.
Why can't you watch a damn movie? Is that so much to ask?
He says, I think it is a vessel for storing some sort of energy. I think that whatever energy was in it is gone, but that if it were to have that energy back, that maybe it will do something. I do not know what that is, but that is my theory at the moment.
Interesting.
Where did it come from, if I might ask?
It came from a temple in Tien.
Interesting. And why did you have it? Did you find it when you came back? I'm surprised that it was not pilfered.
It's a piece that has intrigued me as long as I can remember, and when I was preparing to leave Zhekesh, when things started happening with constructs in Tien that just didn't feel right anymore, I couldn't get the thought out of my head that I should take the cube with me, that it was important to not have it in Tien anymore. And while I've never stolen anything before or since, I was so compelled to take it that I couldn't help myself.
And while you're telling him this, his eyes are kind of flickering blue, as if he's kind of like processing the information.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Very, very interesting." and then it kind of like lapses into silence as you're continuing to walk. So you walk for a long time. Day passes into night. You walk through the night, and the temperature drops considerably. Quick Pick kind of like pulls his cloak around him, and you probably do the same as you're walking. Your head is very, very cold because you don't have hair anymore.
I have my little hood on.
You got your little hood on though, and you continue walking. The river off to your left, and eventually you come to the bottom of Bleak Peak, kind of stretching up above you. And Quick Pick is kind of like, all right, we made it. Now we just gotta get in there. I think I know a way in. It's gonna take a little bit of climbing, if you're all up for it, or we can rest a bit.
Well, I'm okay, and I have a feeling that Junker probably is okay too, so if you need to rest, we can.
And Quick Pick's like, no, I just need like 5 minutes. That's
okay.
It. Just catch my breath. So he sits for a minute, probably eats some food and drinks. Mm-hmm. You can do the same if you want.
Yeah, I will.
And after a few minutes, Quick Pick kind of gathers up his gear and says, all right, we ready? Not sure what we're going to find in there. But, yeah, let's go.